a chance meeting under the flickering hallway lights, where two worlds collided, one filled with privilege and another shadowed by hardship. Maya Thompson was no ordinary woman. As a self-made millionaire and a devoted single mom, she had built her life from scratch after losing her husband in a tragic accident. Despite her success, Maya's heart always remained grounded in compassion and resilience. Her world was a whirlwind of business meetings and school runs, yet she never lost sight of the struggles faced by others. On a rainy Thursday afternoon, Maya found herself volunteering at a community outreach event hosted by the local school. It was a part of her effort to give back, to bridge the gap between the world she lived in and those less fortunate. As she wandered through the crowded gymnasium, her eyes caught a flicker of something unusual. A shy girl sitting alone in the corner, clutching a worn notebook, avoiding the laughter that echoed around her. The girl's name was Amara. She was known at school as the poor girl, the one whom others mocked and excluded. Today, a cruel prank was in motion. Amara was being asked to sing at the school assembly, not out of encouragement, but as a joke. The whispers around her were harsh, filled with cruel anticipation for her supposed failure. Maya felt a tug at her heart, something she couldn't ignore. Without hesitation, she approached Amara and gently introduced herself. The girl's eyes widened in surprise, suspicion flickering in their depths. But Maya's smile was warm, genuine, an unspoken promise of safety and belief. "Would you like to sing with me?" Maya asked softly, surprising even herself. "I want to hear your voice, not because of what others say, but because I believe in you." Amara hesitated, the weight of years of doubt threatening to silence her. Yet something in Maya's words ignited a spark, a fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, this time would be different. That moment marked the beginning of an unexpected bond between a millionaire single mom and a poor girl whose voice would soon captivate an entire school. What started as a whispered promise would soon shatter expectations and rewrite stories. In the quiet moments between chaos, trust blossomed, a fragile bridge forming where hope dared to cross. After that rainy afternoon encounter, Maya couldn't stop thinking about Amara. The shy girl's voice had lingered in her mind, like a soft melody waiting to be heard. Determined to help her, Maya decided to invite Amara to her home for singing practice, a safe place away from the cruel whispers of the school. At first, Amara was hesitant. The mansion, the luxury, the attention. It all felt overwhelming for a girl who had always been invisible. But Maya's gentle persistence and kind eyes offered a sanctuary Amara had never known. Slowly, the walls Amara had built around herself began to crumble. Days turned into weeks, and their meetings became the highlight of both their lives. Maya shared stories of her own struggles, losing her husband, raising her child alone, and fighting battles in the business world. These revelations made Maya real to Amara, no longer just a wealthy stranger, but a woman who understood hardship and heartbreak. Amara, in turn, opened up about her life, the tiny apartment she shared with her mother, the endless teasing at school, and the dreams she dared not speak aloud, to sing not just for herself, but for the world. During practice sessions, Maya's son Liam often joined, cheering Amara on with wide-eyed admiration. Their laughter filled the house, and a genuine friendship blossomed among the trio. Maya's resources meant access to the best vocal coaches and recording equipment, but it was the emotional support that mattered most. One afternoon, as Amara sang a delicate ballad in the sunlit music room, Maya watched her with tears in her eyes. This was more than talent. It was a voice forged by pain and hope, a rare gift ready to shine. Yet beneath the joy, Maya sensed Amara's fears. The scars of past ridicule lingered. "What if they laugh again?" Amara once whispered. "What if my voice isn't enough?" Maya reached out, her hands steady and reassuring. "Your voice is more than enough, Amara, and I believe in you, no matter what anyone else thinks." This growing connection was more than mentor and student. It was a bond of trust, healing, and belief. Maya's unwavering faith began to ignite a transformation in Amara, one that would soon challenge the cruelty of the school and the doubts within herself. Little did they know, their journey was only beginning, and the voice that once trembled with fear was about to become the sound that silenced an entire room. Beneath the surface of hope, shadows stirred, hidden truths waiting to unravel the fragile trust between them. Weeks had passed since Maya welcomed Amara into her home, and their bond had only grown stronger. But just as the girl's confidence began to bloom, a secret long buried threatened to surface and change everything. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Amara's voice soared through the quiet house during practice. Maya sat nearby, absorbed in her thoughts, when a sudden knock at the door shattered the calm. Standing there was a woman Maya had never seen, a figure from Amara's past. "I'm Elena," the woman said quietly, her eyes flickering with a strange mix of urgency and sorrow. "I'm here because you need to know the truth about Amara." Maya felt her heart quicken. Who was this woman, and what truth could she possibly hold? Elena revealed that Amara's family history was more complicated than anyone had known. Far from the simple struggles Maya had assumed, Amara's mother had once been involved in a scandal that had forced them into poverty and isolation. The story was wrapped in rumors, betrayal, lost opportunities, and enemies who still lurked in the shadows. Amara's voice, Elena claimed, was not only a gift, but a key to a legacy her family had tried desperately to hide. There were people who wanted to silence Amara, fearing the power her talent could unlock, power that extended far beyond mere singing. Maya's protective instincts flared. She knew the school's cruelty was only the surface of something much darker. She also realized how little she truly knew about the girl she had come to care for so deeply. Amara, overhearing the conversation, felt the ground shift beneath her feet. The safety she had found with Maya seemed suddenly fragile. Fear and confusion clouded her eyes as she grappled with this revelation. That night, Maya sat with Amara, sharing the truth as gently as possible. "No matter what the past holds, I'm here. We face it together." The moment was heavy with emotion, a silent promise that no secret, no threat, would break the bond they had built. But as shadows lengthened, Maya knew that unveiling these secrets was only the beginning. Challenges lay ahead, threats that could tear apart the fragile hope they'd nurtured. The school that once mocked Amara was now the least of their worries. A deeper storm was coming, and only faith, courage, and unwavering belief could see them through. When dreams ignite, shadows rise, a fierce storm of opposition threatening to tear apart everything they fought for. The school auditorium buzzed with excitement, but beneath the surface a cold tension lingered. News of Amara's growing talent had spread, and while many were curious, a powerful wave of resistance had begun to swell. Whispers turned to murmurs, murmurs to outright opposition. Some parents and teachers viewed Maya's involvement with suspicion. A millionaire single mom helping a poor girl? It didn't sit well with everyone. The deeper issue wasn't just Amara's background, it was the change she represented, a challenge to old hierarchies, to expectations that the underprivileged should remain invisible. During a heated PTA meeting, voices rose in anger. "This isn't fair to other students," one parent hissed. "Why should a girl with no background get special treatment?" Maya stood her ground, her calm voice cutting through the noise. "Amara's talent is real. This isn't about privilege, it's about belief and opportunity." But the opposition was relentless. A faction began plotting to exclude Amara from the upcoming school talent show, the very stage where Maya hoped the girl's voice would finally be heard and celebrated. Meanwhile, Amara felt the pressure mounting. The same classmates who once mocked her now whispered rumors that stung deeper than before. They sneered. "She only sings because of the millionaire's money," they sneered. The line between ridicule and resentment blurred. In a particularly cruel act, Amara's music notebook was found torn and discarded in the schoolyard. It was a message, a warning to stay silent. At home, Maya saw the strain etched into Amara's face. "You don't have to do this alone," she reassured her. "We'll fight this together." But Amara's doubts crept in like shadows. What if I'm just a charity case? What if I don't belong? The conflict wasn't just external. It was tearing at the fragile confidence Maya had helped build. The battle for Amara's place was more than a fight for a stage. It was a fight for dignity, identity, and the courage to dream. Maya and Amara stood at a crossroads, caught between hope and fear, love and opposition. The storm was rising, and only the strongest hearts could weather it. When the brightest light flickers, shadows creep in. Doubt whispers louder than hope. After the relentless battles at school, Amara's spirit began to waver. The cruel whispers, the torn notebook, the exclusion attempts, all weighed heavily on her young heart. The pressure felt unbearable, and the once bright dream of singing on stage now seemed like a distant, impossible hope. One evening, after a particularly harsh day of taunts and cold shoulders, Amara sat alone in her small room, clutching her worn-out music notebook. Tears blurred her vision as she whispered to herself, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I don't belong." Maya noticed the change immediately. At their next practice, Amara's voice was quiet, hesitant, lacking the fire that had once captivated everyone. The radiant girl who had amazed Maya with her raw talent now seemed fragile, scared to even try. Maya sat beside her, her hand gently resting on Amara's shoulder. "It's okay to be scared," she said softly, "but don't let fear decide your future." Despite Maya's encouragement, Amara's doubts lingered like a heavy fog. She feared the judgment, the rejection, and most of all, the possibility of failure. The thought of standing on stage, facing the crowd, and being mocked again was paralyzing. Maya's own past struggles echoed in her heart. She remembered moments when she had felt broken and unsure, but also the strength she found in believing in herself and those she loved. That night, Maya stayed late, researching ways to help Amara regain confidence. She reached out to a counselor, arranged extra coaching sessions, and even invited a few supportive classmates to join them. Slowly, a flicker of hope returned, but the moment of doubt had served its purpose. It reminded them both how fragile dreams could be and how much courage it truly took to pursue them. Amara's journey was far from over. The shadows were still there, but now she had a stronger light to guide her through. Just when darkness seems endless, a single spark can ignite a blazing light, hope reborn from the ashes of doubt. After the storm of doubt, a quiet transformation began. Slowly but surely, Amara's spirit began to heal. It started with small things: a genuine smile from a classmate, a kind word from a teacher who had remained silent before. These tiny acts of kindness were like gentle raindrops nourishing a parched soul. Maya organized a small gathering at her home. Not a grand event, but an intimate space where Amara could feel safe and supported. She invited a few trusted friends, music teachers, and even Liam's classmates who had shown kindness. The room was filled with warmth and encouragement. On the day of the gathering, Amara was nervous but determined. As she stepped up to sing, the familiar tremor in her voice was there, but so was a newfound strength. Her voice floated through the room, soft at first, then soaring with confidence and emotion. The applause was immediate and heartfelt. Tears welled in Maya's eyes as she saw Amara shine, not just as a singer, but as a young woman reclaiming her confidence. Word of the gathering spread quietly but quickly, and the tide began to turn. More students reached out with words of support, and even some who had been critical started to listen with new respect. Maya continued to stand by Amara, not just as a mentor, but as a mother figure and unwavering pillar of belief. "You are more powerful than you know," she told Amara one evening. "Your voice isn't just for singing, it's for changing lives, starting with your own." Amara's bond with Liam also deepened. The two shared laughs, secrets, and dreams, reminding her that she was not alone. Together, they dreamed of the school talent show, imagining the moment when Amara's voice would finally silence the doubters. Though challenges still loomed, hope had been rekindled. The darkness of doubt was pushed back by a light fueled by friendship, faith, and the unbreakable courage of a girl determined to be heard. In the quiet between storms, a vow is whispered, binding hearts and forging an unbreakable bond. After the rekindling of hope, Maya and Amara found themselves standing at a crossroads, both aware that the journey ahead would demand courage, sacrifice, and unwavering trust. One crisp evening, as the stars began to twinkle softly over the city, Maya invited Amara to the rooftop of her penthouse. The cool breeze carried the scent of blooming jasmine, and the distant city lights shimmered like tiny constellations. Amara stood nervously beside Maya, her eyes reflecting the vast night sky above. "I'm scared," she confessed softly. "What if everything falls apart again?" Maya smiled gently, taking Amara's hands in hers. That's why I'm here. No matter what happens, I promise you, I will never let you face this alone. It was more than words. It was a sacred promise forged in love and determination, a bond that would anchor them through every challenge. Maya spoke of her own struggles, the loneliness of raising Liam alone, the battles she fought to build a life of security and love. I've faced storms before, she said, but this is different. Helping you isn't just about music or talent. It's about hope. For you, for Liam, for all of us. Amara felt a warmth spread through her chest. The weight of fear lifted, replaced by a fierce determination to face the future. Not as a scared girl, but as someone with a family who believed in her. That night, under the vast sky, a silent pact was sealed. They would stand together, fight together, and celebrate every victory, no matter how small. As they headed back inside, Amara whispered, "Thank you, Maya, for everything." Maya squeezed her hand. "The journey is just beginning, but with this promise, nothing can break us." Just when the path seemed hardest, life surprises us with moments of pure light. Joy unplanned, laughter that heals. The days leading up to the school talent show were filled with rehearsals, whispered doubts, and tense moments. Amara practiced tirelessly, her voice growing stronger and more confident, but the lingering fear of failure still shadowed her. One afternoon during a break from practice, Maya surprised Amara with an unexpected gift: tickets to a concert of a famous singer Amara had admired secretly for years. The tickets were an act of faith, a reminder that dreams were worth chasing. At the concert, Amara felt the music fill her soul. She sang softly along with the crowd, laughter bubbling from deep inside her. For the first time in months, the weight of the world lifted, replaced by a lightness of spirit. Back at school, something remarkable happened. A group of students who had once mocked Amara approached her, offering genuine compliments and even asking to join her practice sessions. The atmosphere began to shift. On the day of the talent show, the auditorium was packed. The stage lights cast a golden glow, and the hum of excitement buzzed through the air. When Amara's turn came, she stepped onto the stage with a calm resolve. Her voice rose, clear and powerful, weaving a melody that captured the hearts of everyone present. The crowd fell silent, mesmerized by the raw emotion and beauty. Tears streamed down Maya's face as she watched Amara shine, not just as a singer, but as a beacon of hope and resilience. After the performance, applause thundered through the room. The unexpected joy wasn't just in the music, but in the transformation of Amara, of the school, and of the people who dared to believe in her. That night, as they celebrated quietly, Maya whispered, "This is just the beginning. Your voice will change the world." True strength is revealed not in moments of ease, but in the storms that threaten to tear us apart. The glow of the talent show victory soon met the harsh realities of everyday life. Though Amara had won the admiration of many, the path ahead was still fraught with challenges. Some students, unwilling to accept her success, began spreading rumors and trying to undermine her confidence once again. The pressures of balancing school, rehearsals, and the growing expectations weighed heavily on her slender shoulders. Maya watched helplessly as the emotional toll deepened. Liam, sensing the tension, did his best to support Amara with small acts of kindness, but the strain was undeniable. Days turned into weeks, and Amara's voice occasionally faltered under the weight of fatigue and doubt. Yet through every setback, Maya stood firmly by her side, a constant source of strength and encouragement. One evening, after a particularly discouraging day, Amara considered giving up. But remembering Maya's promise and the joy she had found in her music, she found a flicker of resilience inside her heart. Together, they devised a plan to face the growing challenges: more rehearsals, mindfulness exercises, and reaching out to trusted teachers for support. Maya even arranged for Amara to meet with a vocal coach who specialized in boosting confidence. Slowly, Amara began to reclaim her strength. The test of time was harsh, but it forged a deeper determination within her. The bond between Maya, Amara, and Liam grew stronger, a family united against the storms of doubt and adversity. Though the journey was far from over, they had proven that with love, faith, and perseverance, Even the toughest test could be overcome. Every ending bursts a new beginning, a chance to rewrite the story with hope, courage, and dreams anew. After weathering the storms and overcoming obstacles, Amara found herself standing at the threshold of a new chapter. The lessons learned and the strength gained had prepared her for what lay ahead. Maya, proud and hopeful, encouraged Amara to audition for a prestigious music academy that could open doors beyond their small town. It was a chance not only to pursue her passion, but to build a future she had once only dreamed of. The application process was daunting, filled with nerve-wracking interviews and performances. Yet with Maya and Liam's unwavering support, Amara faced each challenge with growing confidence. On the day the acceptance letter arrived, the joy was overwhelming. Tears of happiness mingled with laughter as they celebrated this hard-earned victory. But new beginnings also meant change. Amara would have to leave behind the familiar, her school, her friends, and the comfort of Maya's home. The thought was bittersweet. Maya reassured her, change is scary, but it's also where growth lives. This is your time to shine even brighter. Amara promised herself she would carry the lessons of love, resilience, and hope wherever she went. As she packed her bags and prepared to step into the unknown, a quiet excitement filled her heart. The journey had been long, but this was just the beginning of a life filled with possibilities. Together, Maya, Amara, and Liam embraced the future, ready to face whatever came next with courage and an unbreakable bond. Sometimes love demands the hardest choice, a sacrifice that breaks the heart but saves the soul. Just as Amara's life began to bloom with new opportunities, a sudden crisis shook their fragile peace. During a late-night rehearsal, Amara suddenly collapsed, her voice lost in a whisper. The doctors delivered a devastating diagnosis, a vocal cord condition that could permanently silence her singing. The news hit Maya like a thunderbolt. She refused to give up hope, seeking out the best specialists and alternative treatments. But the journey was long, painful, and uncertain. Faced with the possibility of losing her gift forever, Amara spiraled into despair. The dreams she had fought so hard for seemed to slip through her fingers. Then came a choice, an experimental surgery with risks that could cost her not just her voice, but her health. The decision weighed heavily on all of them. Maya sat by Amara's bedside, holding her trembling hand. "You've given so much," she whispered. "But if this means risking your life, maybe there's another way." Amara looked at Maya, then at Liam, who gave a small, encouraging smile. She realized that sometimes sacrifice wasn't just about giving up dreams. It was about protecting the love and lives entwined with those dreams. With tears and courage, Amara chose to postpone the surgery and focus on healing in other ways, through therapy, rest, and rediscovering the joy of music without pressure. Maya promised to stand by her, no matter what path she chose. The family's love deepened, forged in the fire of sacrifice and hope. Though the road ahead was uncertain, they knew that true strength came not just from talent, but from the heart's unyielding courage. When all the threads of struggle, love, and hope weave together, a beautiful harmony is born, a melody that echoes forever. Months passed since Amara's setback, and while her voice hadn't returned to its full strength, something far more profound had grown within her. She discovered new ways to express herself, through songwriting, storytelling, and inspiring others with her journey. The music inside her heart was no longer just about singing, it was about touching lives. Maya watched with pride as Amara took on a mentorship role at the local community center, helping other young dreamers find their voices, whatever form they took. Liam joined in, organizing small concerts and events to celebrate the courage of those who dared to follow their passions despite the odds. Together they had created a symphony of hope, a family bound not just by blood, but by love, resilience, and shared dreams. One evening, under the soft glow of fairy lights in their backyard, Amara sang quietly for her family. Not a perfect performance, but a heartfelt one. Her voice carried the stories of pain, sacrifice, and triumph. Maya held her close, tears shimmering in her eyes. "You've found your harmony, Amara, and it's more beautiful than any song." The school that once doubted her now celebrated her as a beacon of inspiration. As the final notes faded into the night, they knew this was not an end, but a new beginning filled with endless possibilities. Their journey had taught them that true harmony comes not from perfection, but from love's unwavering song. So what did you think about Amara and Maya's journey? Have you ever supported someone whose dreams others doubted? Share your story with us down in the comments. Do you think Amara will regain her voice? Or do you believe her true strength lies in her courage and spirit, not just her singing? Let us know your thoughts. We love reading your comments. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the like button so we know you want more inspiring tales like this. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories every week. Make sure to click the bell icon too, so you never miss an update from us. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. See you in the next video with another unforgettable story.